A Tale of Salem's Witches. Chapter 1. The Puritan Colony. In the year 1692, the Puritan colony of Salem, Massachusetts, was a pious and devout community. The people lived simple lives, governed by strict religious laws and a deep belief in the power of God. However, beneath the surface of this seemingly idyllic town, a dark cloud was brewing. Chapter 2. The accusations begin. It all began with a group of young girls, Tituba, Abigail Williams, and Ann Putnam Jr., who began to exhibit strange behavior. The accusations quickly spread, and soon the entire town was gripped by fear. Chapter 3. The Witch Trials. The accused women were arrested and brought to trial. The evidence against them was largely circumstantial and based on the girls' testimonies. Despite the lack of concrete proof, the women were found guilty and sentenced to death. Chapter 4. The Fear Takes Hold. The witch trials became a frenzy, with more and more people being accused of witchcraft. The fear and hysteria in Salem reached a fever pitch. Innocent people were imprisoned, tortured, and executed, all based on the testimony of a handful of young girls. Chapter 5. The Crucible. The trials reached their climax with the arrest of Rebecca Nurse, a respected member of the community. Nurse was accused of witchcraft by her own niece, Abigail Williams. The trial of Rebecca Nurse became a turning point in the witch trials as it exposed the absurdity of the accusations. Chapter 6. The End of the Trials. Eventually, the witch trials came to an end. Many of the accused were acquitted, and several of the convicted were pardoned. However, the damage had been done. The witch trials had torn the community apart and left a dark stain on Salem's history. Chapter 7. The Aftermath. The witch trials had a lasting impact on Salem. The town struggled to recover from the trauma of the events, and the reputation of the Puritans was tarnished. However, the trials also led to a renewed focus on the dangers of religious extremism and the importance of critical thinking. Chapter 8. The Legacy of the Witches. Today, the witch trials of Salem are remembered as a dark chapter in American history. The trials serve as a cautionary tale about the dangers of hysteria, fear, and religious intolerance. Chapter 9. The Witch Trials Today. Despite the passage of time, the witch trials of Salem continue to fascinate people around the world. Books, movies, and plays have been created to explore the events of that fateful time. Chapter 10. The Ghosts of Salem. Some people believe that the spirits of the accused witches still haunt Salem. It is said that on certain nights, visitors to the town can hear the wails of the condemned and feel a chilling presence in the air. Chapter 11. The Witch Trials in Popular Culture. The witch trials of Salem have been the subject of countless works of fiction and non-fiction. Arthur Miller's play, The Crucible, is perhaps the most famous dramatization of the events. Chapter 12. The Lessons of the Past. The witch trials of Salem offer valuable lessons about the dangers of religious extremism, the importance of critical thinking, and the need for justice. Chapter 13. Remembering the Victims. It is important to remember the victims of the witch trials. Their lives were tragically cut short, and their families were devastated. Chapter 14. The Power of Fear. The witch trials were a stark reminder of the power of fear. When people are afraid, they can be easily manipulated and persuaded to believe in the impossible. Chapter 15. A Dark Chapter in History. The witch trials of Salem remain a dark chapter in American history. However, by remembering the past, we can learn from it and ensure that such tragedies never happen again.